Good morning it is.
Stephen St. John.
I am the greatest.
Were you really sick this week? What was the problem?
I broke my back.
What do you mean by that?
My back is broken.
What, a vertebrae or what portion?
Spinal.
All around is watching us, the Mexicans, and I feel proud about represent Mexico. ¡Viva México, cabrones!
Welcome to New Day with SSJ on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
Spartans! What is your profession?
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
It's time!
New Day with SSJ is presented by Walker Medical Linen Services, locally owned and operated, HLAC certified to the highest standards. Walker has partnerships with hospitals, surgery centers, and medical clinics in and around the metro area. Walker Medical Linen Services in Kansas City and online at walkermls.com. The Kansas City Royals.
Here's Caglione, who has driven in the game's only run. Base it up the middle in the first inning. He didn't get Lofton home.
He blasts it deep right field. Hernandez turns around. It's into the bleachers. Jake Caglione shines in L.A. with a two-run homer.
Boy, how can you do that? That's lumberjack. That's right. He could swing the baby off speed. You could tell he was a little out front even. That'll tell you the strength. Look at that. The one-hand takeoff. Scooble says, I've felt that before. I've seen it, and I know that sound. That's loud and pretty. Go ahead, Cags. Drive the Royal bus tonight.
Well, Tony did steal second, so he's in scoring position for Freddie Freeman. I know he's been searching for an extra base hit, but in this spot, doesn't necessarily need one. Ground ball, base hit, right field. Ohtani rounds. Marte's throw. Doesn't matter. Shohei scores. Freeman's out at second, but the Dodgers have hopped back in front 6-5. Ground ball to Freddie Freeman. He'll take it himself. That is a win for LA.
That is a good feeling for a lot of people, those sitting in the stands, and especially for those playing on the field.
Chiefs.
All right, as far as the injuries go, Trey didn't practice, but improving. Jarius didn't practice, and Drew didn't practice. They're all improving as we go. Cyrus got some good work in today. Baza was back out there. Did good. Delane did up through 7-on-7. Did a nice job with that. Actually had the pads on. And then Rice took most of the practice. So with that, good work today. A lot of red zone work today. Short field. But again, things are a little faster in that area. And I bet the guys competed against each other, and it was good competition. Worked a lot of third downs in the red zone, which will help us down the road there too. Good to have EB back. So he's back in the fold, and I don't think he missed a step, man. He was out there getting after it. So that's a positive for the offensive side. For that, time's yours.
Good morning, Kansas City. This is New Day with SSJ on Sports Radio 810 WHB. It's Tuesday, August 11th, 2026. Stephen St. John in studio. Jake Gutierrez and Deebs also with me today. 6:30, we'll have former Chiefs wide receiver Mark Boerichter in studio. Then, you know it's football season when Jeff Chadilla from NFL Network and NFL.com is with us. That'll be at 8 o'clock. And then celebrating his return from Japan, former Royals reliever Jamie Bluma will be with us in the 9 o'clock hour, talk some Royals baseball, but also talk about his time he just spent in Japan, spreading the good word of baseball. So that should be fun. The Royals playing the world champs, West Coast, late night baseball. It was exciting. It was a good game, but they lose 6-5 to the Dodgers. Well, they were competitive, but it's just, man, it's just hard to look at that record. Dodgers are 71-48, and the Royals are 49-71. And away from Kauffman Stadium, they are 20-41. Oh boy. That is a bad, bad team on the road, people. Unfortunately, Noah Cameron's string of dominant starts came to an end. He wasn't terrible. He wasn't good enough, but he was just 5 2/3, 6 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, a couple of strikeouts. Bullpen was nothing to write home about. They put up 3 runs on Tarek Skubal and tried to ruin his home debut for the Dodgers. But the Dodgers had too much to overcome, and the Royals lose. But, again, there are things to watch, things to look for, things to enjoy in this final stretch of a bad season for the Royals. And right at the very top of the list is Jack Caglione, who, if you didn't see it, you heard Rex Hudler describe it. Just hit a line drive rocket for a home run. He went 2 for 4 last night with a run scored and 3 ribbies, and he is on fire. That's home run number 21 on the season. And boy, let me tell you, last 50 plate appearances, his OPS is over 1,100. I mean, I get it. It's tough to get super excited while you watch this team lose games left and right. and they were just never in it. So it feels like a lost season. But at the very least, you're hoping that Jack Caglione, I mean, he was at the top of the list, right? Jack Caglione and Carter Jensen and some of the young players can show you that they're part of the solution, not the problem. And boy, I mean, look, there's a lot of things that can happen. And baseball can be a maddening roller coaster ride. But it sure looks like the Royals have another budding superstar here in Keggs, who has just tremendous power, who looks like he's going to be a perennial, 30, hell, who knows, 40 home run hitter every season if he stays healthy. And look, he's still just getting his feet wet in his career, but you see it, right? Like last year when we talked about how he was knocking the cover off the ball at AA and AAA and how impressive he was in college. You could just dream about it. And then when he came up, you saw some glimpses, but overall you're like, this is the guy everyone was raving about? Are you sure? How come he didn't come up and immediately hit like Nick Kurtz, who was also taken in the top 10 in the same draft? How come he's struggling so much? How come Keggs isn't doing what other young sluggers are doing when they get called up? And he struggled, and his confidence was shaken. And in the offseason, I think we all, even the biggest supporters and the most optimistic people, had to take a step back from what the expectations were. I remember having a conversation with Leabo when he was in studio in the offseason. And we were talking about what was realistic to expect from Keggs. And I scaled it back. I scaled it way back. Like, I still believe in him. I still think that he's going to be a stud, but I'm not, that rattled me because he was really bad, He'd have those moments where he showed off his power, but you thought, well, just, you know what? I'll take a step back. I won't heap on the expectations, and I hope that he'll get his feet under him in his second go-around, and he'll start to show why we were all so excited about him, why I went up to Omaha to interview him and watch him play. Now you're seeing it. Now you're watching it. Now, every time he's up, you want to watch it. You want to run to the TV, right? You run to the computer or run to your phone. I don't know how, run to your tablet. I don't even know how many people watch the game on their TV, the games on their TV anymore. But you want to see it. Can't miss TV, can't miss at bats. And just, look what he's doing right now. He's crushing the ball. He's crushing mistakes. And you look at what he's done just in the, it's only August 11th. We're almost halfway through the month. But in August, he's hitting .417 with an 861 slugging percentage, 1278 OPS. I'm thinking he's having a pretty good August, people.
Fire, 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 fire.
He's played 9 games in August, and he has 4 home runs and 12 ribbies in the 9 games. He's 4 home runs and 12 ribbies in 9 games.
I think something that gets looked over from last year, his struggles. The dude had to learn to play a completely new position at a major league level. What an ask. And he's learning. He hasn't missed a stride out there.
One thing I think that we kind of look over is the fact that last year he had to learn a new position, basically, thrust into the outfield. I think that's something that very few people bring up. I do. I bring it up because I'm on the ball. But you're right. Yeah. Hey, go play outfield also.
Right. You've never played before.
Yeah. Come up here with all this hype.
Right.
we said publicly that we didn't want you to come up and feel like you had to rescue a struggling offense and be the savior, but come up and rescue a struggling offense and be the savior and figure out outfield. Will you please? That's it. All right, thanks. And I don't like watch him and think, here's a future Gold Glover, but I don't think he ever embarrassed himself out there. He hit the ground running, and he's been solid out there. I've never really, have you watched the game or ever really felt like, well, boy, this guy didn't belong out there?
Right. Oh, man, I hope they don't hit it to right.
Get this DH off the field. No. And that's a very good point. He's handled himself very well out in the outfield. But you know what? My expectations were that he'd be able to handle himself because he's people had the misconception he was this big lumbering guy, that couldn't chew gum and tie his shoes and have a thought all in 1 hour, I think people, saw Big U, But like when I went out there in Omaha and talked with Rusty Kuntz, who was working with Jack out in the outfield, and talking to some other people that had been around him, they said, no, his work ethic's not a problem. Ego, setting that aside and getting out there and maybe not looking great early on, and maybe those struggles we didn't see, right? Because they worked really, really hard behind the scenes before games, and when Bethany and I went up there, we watched a good portion of pregame and warm-ups, what they're doing. A lot of it was him out there just shagging fly balls and just working on angles and having a coach in his ear and off to the side talking to Rusty and a lot. And you hear this, and I think sometimes we just gloss over it, but it's the work that we don't see, that the fans don't see. Like, how much work are you going to put in? And that's on him. They can ask him to do something, and he can go and trust me, there have been players that have been asked to change positions or try a new position, and they'll drag their feet and do it. And when they're out there getting reps, they'll half-ass it or their heart won't be in it. Not everyone, we always hear from Coach, this guy's got a great work ethic. This guy really, you don't have to question that. Well, not everybody has a great work ethic. And not everybody is accepting of a position change. And not everyone, does what Cags did. Yeah. And he did.
See Rafael Devers.
Yeah. But
that guy was
you talk to him, you watch him, and just like every little thing, he shag a fly ball, coach would walk over to him, talk about this or talk about that, all the reminding me, since this is in the theme here of what's going on in Kansas City sports, reminding me of what we see from Eric Bieniemy in training camp. All these little details from the running back, and you see the running back do something, and Bieniemy gets pissed off, like what was wrong with that? But does something wrong that only Bieniemy saw, they're only interface Bieniemy, he goes over, he gets in his ear, do it again. Do it again. It's like yesterday, his first day back, he's getting pissed off about, getting in and out of the huddle and just the tempo. There are things that certain coaches see, certain details that separate them from other coaches, and it allows them to get the best out of their players. And, watching that day in Omaha, man, look how hard he's working before the game even starts. He's out there hauling ass in the outfield trying to make himself into a reasonably good outfielder. And it paid off. Because like you said, he made that transition, and since we've watched him, he's looked like a major league outfielder. He's made some really nice plays too. So credit him. And now I'm quite sure, and we can argue and debate, well, what's the best position for him moving forward? Should he stay in the outfield or should he be a first baseman? Either way, we've seen enough from him that he'll hit whatever position he plays. Now, if you want to talk about what's best to keep him healthy and keep him right, I don't know. I'll listen to both sides. You know, what's best for the organization, because they're going to do what's best for the team. But what's best for the organization, I don't know. You keeping Vinny? Was Vinny locking up first base? You going to go, one more time with that and see if it's just been bad luck with all these injuries and he can get back to being the productive hitter he was last year? Or you're thinking, maybe Kag should be at first base when we go in a different direction in the outfield. I don't know. That's up for the Royals to decide. But what I can tell you is I'm pretty damn confident now that if it's in the outfield or at first base, Kag's going to hit a lot. I mean, you want to take it, in a wider scope than August after the All-Star game. What do you think his OPS is after the All-Star game? Don't get crazy, but I mean, just like he's been. To give you an example, what do you think it was before the All-Star game? Not bad.
Yeah, probably like what?
Not bad.
790, 800?
782.
Yeah.
And if you'd have asked me, or if you'd have told me, hey, it's going to be 782 before the season after what we saw in struggles last year, I'd have
Sign me up. Yep.
Give me a pen right now. What is it after the All-Star game? In the second half, what's it been?
Let's say 950.
And we're looking at 21 games, 79 at-bats.
I'll say 1,000.
904.
Okay.
But still, okay.
Yeah. Over 9's great.
All right.
Over 9's great.
I'll take it. And overall this season versus lefties, 718. So it's not like he's up there with a pull cue trying to hit or a sword, like some of us were led to believe. Oh, it's against lefties. Might as well have a blindfold on him. There are a lot of Royals players that wish they could have a 718 OPS against anyone, much less against lefties. So it's I mean, and now he's hot. He's on fire. And you're wondering, I mean, he's got 21. He end up with 30. Like, what's he gonna do? What are his numbers gonna be? And on top of that, who's gonna have the better OPS by the end of the season? Kaggs or Bobby? Did you think that was gonna be a conversation?
No. I didn't.
Did you or not?
I did not.
No, nor did I. No. Now that's Bobby has taken a step back from last year, but Kaggs has taken a giant step forward. But the fact that that's even a possibility, what are we at right now? Yeah, Kaggs is 806 and Bobby's 801. And that's two things that work there again. We expect Bobby's to be higher, but I didn't think Kaggs would get over 800 this year, this late. I thought he'd improve, but it's been better. And now he's just crushing balls. Just bombs. Now, like that line drive last night, he just made you laugh. Like, good God. He just smashed that baseball. By the way, off of Scooble. He didn't hit it off some numbnuts up there. I mean, there's a lot of pitchers, like a lot of guys in the Royals bullpen that would qualify as numbnuts. Like, who's that?
Right, Jags.
Who is this guy?
Bunch of Jags.
Hey, hit home run. Who was it off? I don't know. Some Royals reliever that just got DFA'd.
Yeah.
Oh, really, Kang? Oh, nice line drive home, 110 miles per hour. Who's it off? Scooble in his home debut. Oh.
Makes you sit up straight.
Yeah, hello there, Mr. Man. How are you? So, yeah. It's wonderful to see. Yeah, Bobby's on-base percentage is .354 and his slug's .447. Kag's on-base is .319, but his slug is .487. Ooh, boy. I see, and how about that? Pretty much the whole segment we talked about the Royals, and there wasn't anything negative because Kags that's so exciting. Like you get at least one thing you can take away. Okay, Kags is for real. Okay, they nailed that pick. All right, add him to the nucleus. Okay, Bobby and Kags, and hopefully Carter Jensen, and hopefully Michael Garcia, if he ever wants to come back. Love to see it. Love to see him play. Love watching him play. Like to see him play. And this mysterious hand injury that comes and goes with the wind. It's got to be very frustrating. I mean, for Christmas, I gave Jake a Michael Garcia bobblehead.
Beautiful bobblehead.
Anticipation that he signed his extension. We're going to see some good stuff. We have not seen this man in weeks.
No.
So, and Vinny's going on the rehab assignment. Michael's supposed to go on the rehab assignment. And how about this? Give us a couple of weeks with the whole gang back together, just for blanks and giggles.
Just enough to tease us for next year.
Let us make sure they're all there. Let's see them, like in a lineup, so we can pick him out. Oh, there he is. Give us something. But Kags, keep on raking. I love it. You should too. Now we'll move on and talk football with Mark Bowrichter. He loves it. He loves Kags.
Are you ready for some football?
But he loves football more. Eric Bieniemy back at practice. Let's go. Back after this on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Yeah, I think it's good for him to be able to have some flexibility to do both. We worked him a little bit in there in OTAs, liked what we saw. So this gives him real competition in there now, where Spags is throwing a lot of different things at you, so you've got to be able to adjust. He'll do nothing but help him. Even at the tackle spot, it'll help him. So once he jumps back there.
Welcome back to the show. That was Andy Reid talking about Khalil Benson stepping in at guard. And right now we have Mark Boerichter, former Chiefs wide receiver, stepping in as guest. Hello, Mark. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
What do you think of Kegs?
I think it's good that he's hitting.
That's right. That was off of
I've
I've
always liked Kegs.
Yeah.
And the potential there.
We're seeing it play out. There's plenty of Chiefs players with potential. Hopefully we see play out. So you went up to camp.
I did last week.
Did you have fun?
Had our alumni and Legends Day. Yeah, it was fun. Had a good time.
Who'd you see you hadn't seen in a while? Who did you enjoy catching up with?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
A lot of the ambassador guys were there.
Or just not
Dwayne Bowe was.
He's not like any of those guys.
Dwayne Bowe was in the house.
Did you like his pants?
He had an interesting. His outfit was a topic of conversation with a lot of the former players.
Those pants look comfortable.
It was an interesting get-up that he had on. But Debo marches to the beat of his own drum.
He brings a vibe.
Yeah.
We had
the whole LSU crew was there too. So him and Spencer Ware, Sharkandrick West was there as well. So
what former teammates of yours did you see?
Trent Green was out on the field the whole time,
right?
As a broadcast guy. Chris Bober, Eric Hicks, a lot of these guys I see quite often anyway, around. So got to walk out afterwards on the field. They take us out there, and we all introduce ourselves to the team, and then able to talk to coaches and players for about 5 to 10 minutes, which is always fun. So got to reconnect with Chad O'Shea for a little bit, new receivers coach here, obviously, and started his career here when I was playing, so got to talk to him for a little bit and catch up. It was good, and talked to a few other players about some of the other guys they have out there right now. It's interesting conversations. It's good.
What players did you talk to? Your current players?
I don't want to completely say, but let's just say this: game recognizes game, right? And when you start talking to some of the veteran guys, and asking them how some of these rookies are, they tell you the truth, right? And Khalil Benson is going to start for this team at some point this year. Right now, I see him. This is just me saying this. There's a reason he's working with the ones, right? Out at tackle and at guard. I see him potentially being one of their big swing offensive linemen right now.
Mm-hmm.
Undrafted free agent. Came in here on a tryout basis to rookie minicamp. Signed him off the street, essentially. Has come in, and a few of the players have extremely high evaluations of him.
Do you have any theories as to why he did not get drafted and why he didn't receive very much attention even as an undrafted free agent?
I don't. Usually when that happens, you figure somewhere along the line there were maybe some injury concerns, right?
Something.
Not even to be invited to the combine, though.
Yeah.
Like that's the wild thing. Like to not be drafted is one thing, but the guy didn't even get invited to the combine, and he was a starting left tackle for the national championship.
Yeah. And you know what? Sometimes this stuff happens, right? Like it just happens that way. And sometimes a guy gets in a situation and starts to thrive. I know this in terms of, you know, when you initially look at that, maybe there were injury concerns, right? Maybe there were off-field concerns. Maybe the guy's not that smart. Okay. Now he went to Indiana. Okay, fine institution, right? Academically, but there are. I say that because there's a lot of factors, right, involved with that, and The folks I talked to about him, it's certainly he's not lacking for smarts. So this is a guy that obviously might be one of the great finds for them. And when I say he's going to start, I'm not saying he's going to start week 1 at right tackle or anything like that. I think he's going to be one of their top swing offensive linemen back.
Could he start week 1?
But there's always a possibility, yeah. If he's the best player, they're going to put him out there. But I will preface all of that by saying this, too, that we're going to find out what it looks like here over the next 3 weeks, right? It's one thing to do this in training camp. It's one thing now he's going against some good guys. Don't get me wrong out there, but it's one thing to do this in training camp. It's another thing to get out there on Saturday at 3 o'clock when it's going to be ridiculously hot out, and the game speeds up no matter what, just because it's a game. Now it's a preseason game, and the regular season's even faster pace-wise than what a preseason game is. But you got so much more going through your head as a player when you get out in the game, right? Because in practice, it's a much more controlled environment. You have time ahead of time before practice, during some individual periods, all that kind of stuff where maybe you kind of know the plays you are already going to run, right? And they'll have a little bit of a rough game plan of basic stuff going into Saturday, but you don't know the next couple plays that are coming, right? It's different. Inside run drill, 9-on-7. You know you're running the football the whole time. You know what's coming. You don't know what the next play call is coming in from the quarterback during the game.
You
So
go up against the same guy, you know his tendencies.
yeah, and I'll say this even as a receiver on the outside. There are times where you see the receivers that are camp darlings, right? Well, the guy knows going into practice the 8 or 10 plays he's going to run beforehand because the coach may have gone over the script with them or whatever. He doesn't really have to think. Plus, you know your team's defense because you've been going against them the whole time, so you don't have to just react, right, to maybe a route adjustment. You already know what's going to happen as a part of it. That's all part of stuff that comes in the regular season when you're scouting teams also.
And that's a 3 o'clock kickoff on Saturday?
Yeah, buddy.
That's hot as balls.
Yep.
Let me tell you.
My balls was hot.
That's going to be a test.
It is going to be a test.
So that's a good point. You get out there. I know that the weather and the football season can be unpredictable, but I don't think you'll see many 95-degree kickoffs for the Chiefs in the regular season this year. Or Jake says maybe, who knows? Then Jake, I will admit something is drastically wrong.
Right.
Okay? If they're playing in September or October and we don't need that.
El Nino, baby.
But look, you get out there.
My balls was hot.
And you got the Rams and your first game at Arrowhead. And, it's not the regular season, but there's levels to this.
Yes.
And this is the next level.
Yes. Yep.
And it's 95.
Yep. But that's why I say he's going to start because inevitably there's an injury on the offensive line somewhere along the lines, right, usually. And that's why I say at some point this year. But that's my prediction right now.
Was there anyone else or anyone that you want to mention that stood out, you were interested in, or that was impressive, or people you talked to pointed out to you?
I think, too, they're high on Cyrus Allen as, the eyeball test from everybody that's watched camp. Now, he was not available when I was there a week ago, but everybody you talked to around there, Rashid Rice was working off to the side when I was there, when he was back in practice a little bit. He looks really thick to me, and not necessarily in a good way. I mean, he's always been a big-bodied, muscular guy, but, I mean, they list him at 6'1", 204, and he looks like more to me like he was like 220-ish. Not fat, just looked more thick to me. But that's just my impression.
Like, muscular?
Yeah. But I also don't know if he's in the greatest shape yet.
He's out there in the yard.
Yeah. I didn't say that, but
I mean, I don't know.
He's also, again, he's coming up.
Laughing about it now.
He's coming off a knee injury, right? He was gone for 30 days, as we all know. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. He's not ready to go yet. We'll just say that.
I mean, I don't know.
I didn't hear that. I did not hear that from anybody. Just to clarify, in my conversation,
what are you laughing for?
That is my observation.
I've had plenty of relatives go away for a while, and every time they have, I would get mail with a picture of them, like, oh, hey, you've been lifting. All right, you've been lifting.
Hey.
Use your time right.
I will also say this, and I think we all know this.
The yard.
The yard. We all know this, that number 15 obviously is really, really good, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there is a major drop off from 15 to number 6 in Justin Fields, which there's a reason for that, though. That is not an indictment on Justin Fields when I say that. It is just very evident.
Well, he labors to throw the football accurately.
Yes,
it seems.
Yeah.
So let's run him.
Right.
There's a role. There is a role.
See anything at Nussmeier?
Yeah, I like Nussmeier a lot.
Because that's your, after this year, that's your backup moving forward.
That's your backup moving forward. I like Nussmeier a lot. I did talk to Nussmeier afterwards. I know his father. His dad and I played against each other in the CFL, spent some time together up there. Then his dad was with the Rams for a little bit when I got here to the Chiefs. And his dad's been coaching all over the place, right? SEC, and I think he's the offensive coordinator for the Saints now. So talked to Nussmeier for a little bit. His little brother got ruled ineligible by the UIL in Texas for transferring high schools for athletic purposes, and I happened to cover a couple of those schools for my role with Huddle. So I was chit-chatting with him a little bit about that, and at the time they didn't know where he was going to play, but it sounds like his little brother's moving to Louisiana now to play. So, but I like Nussmeier a lot. Like the running back room is set. I think your top 3 guys there are DeMarcado and Kenneth Walker, obviously, number 1, and then Emmett Johnson. And Brashad Smith's going to factor into that in some capacity too. But the running back room, to me, just watching those guys out there, the running back room is in such better shape, obviously, than what they were a year ago in terms of depth and talent and explosiveness.
It's unbelievable.
And you spend time up there, Steven. You just your eyes tell you that by watching them, right? Like that to me is a very, very positive thing for this team.
On that note, Adam Schefter reported yesterday that Isaiah Pacheco sprained his MCL, but Lions coach Dan Campbell believes he'll be ready for the regular season opener. So hopefully he stays healthy. But no, watching Pacheco and man, I love Kareem Hunt, but just watching that version of Hunt, it's just, and now getting up there and watching a week of Kenneth Walker and look, DeMarcado's, you talking about players being thick. He's thicker than I thought. You know what I mean?
He is.
Like, oh, hold on here.
Not very tall. Not a very big guy, but very, very, like a bowling ball.
Yeah. And then, like you said, Emmett Johnson, Brashard Smith, the wide variety of skills, the skill set that running back room possesses is so much better and diverse than what they had last year. Mm-hmm. It opens up the playbook. And again, people argue, well, he's not going to run the ball more than that's even if he didn't, just the production they're going to get out of the same calls they would have had last year.
Yes.
They left so many yards on the field because of poor execution or poor field vision or just because guys couldn't get the job done. And just having this upgrade in talent is going to be a massive boost to the offense. Massive. So, yes, I'm with you on that. And that's one of the most exciting things to watch. And I don't love preseason football, but excited to watch Emmett Johnson and excited to watch DeMarcado and some of these running backs battle out for playing time and see the backup quarterbacks to watch Nussmeier. And so there's a lot of young players to keep our eyes on in training camp and preseason games. We'll take a break. Back after this on WHP. Welcome back to New Day with SSJ on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate it. We have former Chiefs wide receiver Mark Bowrichter in studio. Recently spent the day up at camp for Alumni Day. What else do you want to give us? What other tidbits? Spill it.
I don't know. I think Kelsey looks good.
You see a hit that Iowa D-back Xavier Wampa put on Emmett Johnson?
Yeah. He just caught him.
It looked good, though.
It did look good. The funny part about it to me is that it's an Iowa defensive back against a Nebraska running back, right? Like, that's the part that's hilarious.
Somebody that was there said that after they having Mahomes turn around and said, "What are we doing?"
Yeah. It's that time of camp here where you're tired of going against the other, the same guys over and over again. Your teammates, it gets a little chippy.
That's why all these dust ups are happening.
You're still teammates, but I think it's good to see the fieriness of guys and getting some guys mixing it up a little bit. Felix,
see now
that's a guy that
good.
needs. There's a with these training camps / skirmishes / fights. I don't want to call them fights necessarily, right? Like. Now, we fought the Vikings,
right?
But
it's Brock Lesnar, right?
Yeah, he got pancaked by an undrafted free agent. By the way, that's why that happened.
Felix was pissed off though, and even Suamatia wanted to, to get after it. But like Bill Moss said yesterday, he was glad to see that emotion out of Felix, and I had said the same thing earlier because this is a guy that, man, how much of a boost would that be if he was a productive player and part of that rotation?
Yeah. Yeah, they got to get some production out of him. And there's a few guys that need to have a little red ass in them, right? To get after things and you like to see that, but it's not abnormal for this time of year and this time of camp when the Chiefs are one of the few teams that don't do any joint practices with anybody else, which I think is a good thing also. You can control a lot more of how you practice when you don't do that, especially at the NFL level. I think just – these guys are ready and raring to go for Saturday because you get to obviously step out at Arrowhead and put on the game uniform. For some guys, it's the first time, and for other guys, it's, we're going to put it on again, and here we go. And now it's time to go, and you get to face somebody else that you don't normally see. In the Rams, of course, they play them in the regular season this year, but it's a different face that you get to line up against on Saturday, and it's fun to go against somebody else as opposed to your own teammates all the time.
So I like the fact that K9, Kenneth Walker III, when I was up there, got pissed off at Tranquil and threw a football at him, and then we saw he got mad at Gilman and had a double leg takedown, because I do think that this offense needed an attitude adjustment to have a little bit more of an edge and to be more physical, and I asked Trey Smith about that, and he agreed. And you could see, just listening to Creed, and especially listening to Trey Smith, how bad they want to be more physical and run the football, and run the and run the football the opposition's rear. And then now they got the guy, and that's frustrating for offensive line. If you do your job, and that there were yards they're gained, there was a big play there. There should have been a 15-yard gain, and it was a 4-yard gain. And so when you got Kenneth Walker back there now, and you even have DeMarcado back there, and the ability to be more physical and get after it and knock someone in the mouth, they got to get fired up about that. And I like Kenneth Walker's attitude. Mm-hmm. He's got that, I don't know what it is, but they gravitate towards him, and he's not a big talker in the press conferences, but his actions speak very loudly. And when you're the Super Bowl MVP, people pay attention to how you go about your business in practice.
Yeah, they do. I think to go back to the offensive line too, not that these guys are hearing this, but when you hear it all year long, like, oh, the Chiefs can't run the football, the offensive line is supposed to, you're investing a lot of money up front, right? How can they not run the football better? A lot of times sometimes it's not their fault, right? Sometimes it's the running back running directly into their back and missing the hole. And that's frustrating for them. And then I'll just say this, like, you guys know you've talked to Grunny a lot over the years. Like, there's nothing better for an offensive lineman to just fire off and kick the guy's ass in front of him, right? Running the football. And you can win a lot of games throwing it. You can win a lot of games being very, very balanced. But there's nothing better than taking, and I'll say this as a guy who's a receiver, when you're just kicking the other team all over the place and you can run the ball down their throat, it takes their soul, right? It takes their soul. But not only that, you now slow down the pass rush because those guys just can't come as far upfield as they want to. They're a little more hesitant, and so it opens up everything else. So, again, this team doesn't have to run the ball necessarily more. They've just got to run it more effectively and efficiently, and the running back room is going to do that for them, absolutely.
And I feel like the word finesse was used a lot with the Chiefs offense, and that's not what an offensive lineman wants to hear.
No.
We try to finesse our way down the field.
Right.
They want to kick their ass, kick the opponent's ass down the field, and now they have, I think, the tools to do that.
Well, I think the other piece of that, too, is you've got the fieriness of Eric Bieniemy and that personality there, right? Let's make no mistake, this is still Andy Reid's offense. It always has been, right? With Matt Nagy here, with Eric Bieniemy before that, with Matt Nagy before that, right? Like that, it's always going to be Andy Reid's offense. But I think different coaches have different personalities, obviously. And there's a yin and a yang to all that that makes up what gets the best thing out of your entire offense. And they need a guy in Eric Bieniemy that's going to hold them accountable. Not that Matt Nagy didn't, but it's a different style. And sometimes you got to shake it up a little bit, and they're back to that now. And obviously happy to see EB back in camp after all the stuff that happened with his family over the last few weeks. As a part of all that. So I just think this, if you want to call this like a reset year too, Steven, on everything that happened last year, there's like a little bit of extra motivation. Not that this team was complacent going into last year, right? But there's this standard that has been set in previous years on this epic run to all these AFC championship games, and they didn't have that last year. And now there's a bitter taste in their mouth. And I think that's a good thing.
We've got former Chiefs wide receiver Mark Boerichter in studio. Back after this on WHB.
New Day with SSJ is brought to you by Walker Medical Linen Service, Kansas City's trusted locally owned medical laundry. HLAC certified for the highest standards in safety and sanitation. Walker serves hospitals, surgery centers, and clinics across the metro. Walker Medical Linen Service, Kansas City clean, Kansas City strong.